So, in the past week or so, we've seen a couple of campaigns. We've seen Asia Wilson appear in a music video with Sweetie, and we've seen you in a Nike campaign with Rosalia. So, what I want to know from your perspective, why are these crossovers between sport and music, and especially women in both? Why has that become so significant right now?
I mean, sport is a part of culture, and I think we've seen that, especially during the pandemic, with viewerships going up, and it's just how it goes. I mean, sport's a big part of everybody's lives, I think, and that's just growing. And so it's really cool to see, Asia and myself and a lot of these other, athletes that are on this platform being able to kind of collaborate and, learn about someone else's art, someone else's craft across, different platforms. And so I was obviously very honored to be able to, take part in that and just learn from a lot of strong women around me.
Great. And to follow up, this is more basketball. So, can you talk to us a little bit about how working with Kylee Shook on pick and roll actions has been? I mean, especially since Natasha Howard is still overseas, how have you seen her developed? And are you concerned at all about the lack of depth in the post?
I'm not concerned at all. Kylie's been great. She's just a sponge. She's always wanting to learn and listen, and she helps me a lot. And I'm obviously trying to help her in every way that I can. So, just being able to talk to her, kind of tell her what I see, tell her, where I think she could be most effective has been awesome. And obviously, played with her last year and was able to start that relationship then. And now seeing how much she's grown from last year, whether it's, off pick and rolls or post up or just her kind of confidence and her ability to shoot as well. It makes her really tough to guard. And so it's been really cool to see her development and also just how much more development she has and how much she's just going to continue to get better and help our team.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Jack Maloney.
Hey Sabrina. I was curious now that you've been able to use it a little bit. Just what your first impressions are of the new basketball.
Yeah, they're great. I worked out with it a little bit before getting here, and so I love the basketball. It's really easy to dribble. It feels good in hand, and it has a lot of grip on passing as well. And so I actually really enjoy the new basketball, and I honestly think it's better than the one we played with last.
Danny Thompson.
Sabrina, Danny Thompson with the 3-point conversion. Great to see you as always. Last night we saw you post a picture on Instagram of you being at the Nets game. When you were at the game last night, did you have envisioned yourself of what it's going to be like tomorrow night, playing your first game in Brooklyn, the team's first game in Brooklyn? Does it give you some sort of excitement, or did you have any envision moments when you were at the game last night?
Absolutely. Not having even stepped foot in arena to watch a live game in over a year. So I think honestly, I was just enjoying it as a spectator. And then, of course, thought about the fact that we'd be playing there. We'll have fans, we'll have family in attendance, and kind of just those people that, we can look to, familiar faces, and just know that they're there supporting us and watching us. And that was just so different in the bubble, with a limited amount of people being there and no one in the stands, that even the little things that might not seem, big and important really do make a difference. And so I'm really excited to get out there and start playing, in front of our family, in front of our fans, and starting something special here at Barclays.
And a quick follow up. Also, there's the ad of you playing tennis as well too, and you tag Naomi Osaka in the actual Instagram. Have you reached out to Naomi to play a quick game of 1-on-1, just to see to match your tennis skills against her?
I don't think I want to. I'm pretty, good friends with Naomi. We had done a campaign with Body Armor together, and so always talking to her and reaching out, commenting on posts, whatnot. But I've always enjoyed playing tennis. From a young age, I played tennis, and so being able to do the campaign was awesome. I kind of was living out my tennis dreams during that campaign, and then obviously joking around with Naomi. I mean, I would love to learn from her, learn tips that she has. But probably not gonna leave basketball and take on tennis.
Thanks, Sabrina.
Yep.
Kareth Burke.
Hey Sabrina, it's nice to see you.
Hi.
Hey, and I just wanted to go really big picture with you as you're on the eve of tip-off tomorrow. What does it mean to you to play again after your ankle injury last season, to be at game speed, and just to be one of 144 people in America who have your job?
Yeah, I'm really excited. I don't think I would have had this perspective if I hadn't got injured, but I think just being appreciative and so excited to be able to play the game that I love. I think before I would be so nervous about, what I'm expecting out of myself, what everyone else is expecting of, me coming into this league. But I think now, given the injury that I had last season, I really don't care. I don't care about what anyone else thinks I should be doing, what numbers I should be putting up. I think it's more just very appreciative of the fact that I'm able to play the game, that I'm able to recover, from such a serious injury and be with my team and teammates and having my family there watching me play what I love. And so I think it's kind of brought a lot more fun back into the game. And I'm so excited to just start playing again.
And you were a very mature person to begin with, but to have a serious ankle injury, to have to watch the game that you love to play, what did that do for you?
It definitely, kind of sparked a fire. From the time that I got injured to now, I've just been watching games. That's really, kind of been keeping me going, from the NBA to WNBA preseason games to our games in the bowl that were going on last year that I wasn't able to play in. I always think it's beneficial. The more you can watch, the more you learn, even without necessarily being out there and running through the actions. And so I've definitely learned a lot from watching so much basketball and kind of analyzing the game and seeing, what I can do when I get back out there to help this team win.
Thank you.
Erica Ayala.
Thank you. Sabrina, I believe it was Danny that was asking you about your experience going to a Nets game, but I wondered if you could expand upon that a little bit, and just what are some of your impressions of Barclays, since a lot of us haven't been there in a while, at least, and might not get there this season. You guys are kind of our eyes and ears. So how would you describe Barclays, and what can fans expect when they walk?
Yeah, I mean, the arena is beautiful, and I think it's buzzing. I mean, obviously, with the Nets being as good as they are and playing so well, you can definitely kind of feel the energy and the excitement. And especially when they go on runs and James Harden checked into the game, there's definitely some electricity. And it's just fun to be around and to be a fan and to be a part of this organization. And so I'm so excited for fans to get back in and just kind of enjoy basketball and enjoy kind of all the ups and downs and the runs that, we're going to go on and just kind of live a normal life again. And so I think that part's going to be really exciting to just see everyone else, with their families, kids, finally being able to watch, not on TV, but in person, and see us not only as basketball players, but for our character as well.
And also, I think you've alluded to some family that's coming out. Are they going to be out for tomorrow's game? And do you have an idea of how many games they'll be able to make?
Yeah, my family, my twin brother, my mom and dad are here. My older brother and his wife just had a baby girl. So they're back home. They're going to be watching on TV until we get out to the West Coast, because it's kind of a long trip for them. But, my family's going to come anytime they can. The blessing in disguise from work from home right now for my parents. So it's kind of nice. They can bring their stuff out and work from out here. And so they'll be in attendance tomorrow. And then, moving forward, whatever games they can make it to, they will.
Well, thank you for that. And felicidades and congrats to your family.
Thank you.
Chris Sharon.
Hey, Sabrina. Good to see you. Yes Network, Chris Sheeran here. Just a couple of things. Number one, what are your expectations for this team this year? And the other thing is, since you were at the Nets game last night, which was a great game with Harden back in the lineup too, by the way, did any of the players see you? Did they tell you they were going to come to watch you as well? Did they say anything to you last night?
No, COVID rules. Probably can't get too close to the players. But of course, I have great relationship with a lot of the players and the coaching staff. So I'm always talking to them, exchanging texts. They're obviously very excited to get into Barclays and watch some of our games. So that's really fun. And then the expectation on the team, I think, we're not really letting any outside expectation get to us. I think it's really how we can get better every single day, how we can mesh as a team. Obviously, there's some new players coming in that are bringing their experience and, what their kind of insight is from coming from winning teams. And then we have some rookies and also players that you can call sophomores, a lot of us that played last year in the bubble and kind of have some of that experience under our belt. So I think it's a great mix of both. And obviously experience is always a good thing. And so I think it's going to help us this year.
Thanks, Sabrina. Can't wait till tomorrow.
Thank you.
I'm going to take one last question. Tarika Foster Brasby.
Hey Sabrina, how you doing? It's Tarika, ESPN Radio. You kind of touched on this a little bit, and I'm just wondering if you can just expand on it just a little bit more. When we talk about pressure, understanding what happened last year, understanding that there are the expectations that you just mentioned for this team, but is there any individual pressure that maybe you're having for yourself, any expectations that you are personally having that you need to channel through for what it is that you want to accomplish this particular season?
Yeah, I think early on, especially right when I first got hurt, those thoughts come in your head is if am I ever gonna get healthy? Am I gonna be, the same player that I was before? And I think it kind of came to me quick. It's like, no, I'm not going to be the same player that I was before. I'm going to be better. And so I think, early on, it was like, I'm not going to let this, dictate the pressure that I put on myself or dictate my future. I'm going to take control of it and find a way to get better from it. And so that's what I've been doing, whether it's been taking care of my body, figuring out what works for me, how I can stay healthy, but also on the court as well, figuring out ways to continue to get better and improve as a player and not let an injury like this stop me from that.
Thanks so much, Sabrina.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sabrina. And thanks everyone for joining today. If I didn't get to your questions, I'm sorry. I'm sure you'll be talking to Sabrina in the next day or so. Please continue to join our media Avail and hope to see you guys tomorrow.